In this present crisis, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.
Real Americans, please stand up. No more hiding your face in the sand. Well, real Americans, please stand up. Divided we're falling, but united we'll stand up, stand strong, stand tall, and we'll keep these walls from falling. Stand up, stand.
Caution, you are about to hear the conservative voice. Freedom Report begins right now.
And welcome, folks, to the Freedom Report, powered by the Madison Institute. My name is Kelly Berry. I am the co-host of the Freedom Report. As you know, Daniel Moss is normally the host of Freedom Report. Daniel is on vacation and finishing up school for the year, and so he's going to be off for a few weeks. But that's okay. We're going to step in here and we're going to tackle some issues that are extremely important to our election coming up in the fall. As you know, we're electing a lot of our representatives, senators, congressmen, but one of the most important elections we're going to have this year is for president. Now, there are a lot of issues, as you know, as we've talked about on this show in the past, about this election. And one of the most important ones, we believe, has to do with our Constitution and the fact that our founders intended for this Constitution to be followed. The Constitution is the outline or the basis of the law that we follow, and as Christians we are commanded to follow the law. So in 1776, when the Constitutional Convention, or when the Declaration, the first Continental Congress was put together, 56 men, which I think were the greatest 56 men in history, assembled in one mind and one accord and created the Declaration of Independence, which gave us unalienable rights, and actually went through and did several things, one of which was it declared the usurpations of King George, but it also declared our freedom. Several years later, in 1787, they got back together, some of those and some new folks, and crafted our Constitution. In that Constitution, they debated those men, probably, as I said a while ago, the best that's ever been assembled, because they understood history. They understood man and man's nature. They understood politics and the politics of tyranny if the political spectrum is not controlled and doesn't have some throttles placed on it. They understood that law and the importance of law. And so they founded our republic on a law, on the Constitution. Well, we have, right now going on with this election, we have challenges that's occurring in the interpretation of that law. Actually, more fundamental than that, and the qualifications of actually running for some of these offices. So who I have today, guest, I have George Berry again from the Madison Institute, and I have Hugh McInnish here, who has been trying to unravel this whole issue of eligibility and what the Constitution actually meant when he said what the qualifications for our president really were. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show. I think this is going to be an exciting show. It's certainly not going to be without interest, I think, from our viewers.
Well, thank you for having us. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's this issue is galvanizing.
Yeah.
And so what I wanted to do is spend an adequate amount of time explaining to our viewers what the issues are here. I know, Hugh, you've been working with through the legal system, through the courts,
right,
to help try to clarify this in Alabama. And there's been a lot of press coverage around the nation of people doing the same thing. But let's just start back initially, Hugh. How did you get involved in this issue?
Well, I self-started. I was not invited by anyone.
Glutton for punishment.
To tell you the truth, I think that my conscience urged me into it. I felt very uncomfortable, as I still do, and I said, my goodness, why isn't someone standing up and speaking? The people who have a platform from which to speak, why don't they use that platform? And I became progressively more irritated and concerned that no one was saying anything. And so I said, I will do whatever small things I can do to get the issue of the Obama legitimacy to the public. That's how I got into it.
I want to thank you, first of all, for doing this.
Well, I appreciate you thanking me.
Because it takes a lot of courage to stand up and be counted in this day and age. You know, used to, our forefathers, that was normal for them to stand up and make themselves known.
Yeah.
We've lost that. We've lost that sense of manhood, I think, is what I think.
Yeah, and Kelly, what I don't understand is so many members of Congress are former military people. They took an oath when they were in the military and also when they came to Congress to defend the Constitution. And further, when they were in the military, they were perfectly willing to put their lives on the line and to risk their very lives for their country. Why aren't they willing to stand up and say the truth in this instance when all they're risking is their office, the possibility that they would get called ugly names and things such as that? Why not a single congressman has stood up and raised the issue of the Obama legitimacy? Tell me.
I don't understand. George, do you have any idea?
I have no idea why they don't, because a lot of evidence is out there. You've got it out from Arizona. You have lawyers from California that have looked at it. You have a lot of information on the internet. And it's not just, as some would say, just internet traffic out there. There are some men who have actually traveled different states. They've traveled to Hawaii. They've traveled to answer these questions. What's interesting is it's being blocked. And it does take someone to just step forward and do a lot of research. Hugh has a background of doing that kind of research, and so we appreciate that he has done it, and he has some white papers that he put together with the evidence that I think your audience is going to be fascinated over this length of time to see. But we appreciate what Hugh's done, and that's what we stand with him side by side.
Okay, we're going to take a break.
Okay.
This first segment is over. We're going to go off and have a commercial, and we'll be right back in just a second.
Got problems with these? Ants, bees, roaches, termites, ticks, spiders, or fleas? Call Safari Pest Solutions. They can tame your jungles. Their staff combines for over 50 years' experience in the pest control industry. Their services are thorough and their prices are honest, fair, and reasonable. Call Safari Pest Solutions now at 205-578-BUGS. That's 205-578-2847.
Do you need help promoting your business? Do you want to have that special day captured forever, or that first Christmas or first birthday never forgotten? Then contact Celebrity Productions. We offer wedding videos of photography, picture slideshows of music, video editing, television commercials, and much more. So if you are ready to do business, contact Mark Bosch with Celebrity Productions at 205-434-1773 or mark.celebrityproductions@gmail.com. Celebrity Productions, here for all your video capturing needs.
And we're back with Hugh McInnish and George Berry. Okay, Hugh, I hear you put together a white paper that helps us begin to understand this issue. Won't you tell us about it?
Okay, I definitely did put together a white paper, Kelly, and I certainly hope that it helps explain it. It was a tough job, but it was also extremely fascinating. And what I did was to mine the considerable data that is available on the internet. And here you have to be careful. There's a lot of trash there.
Right.
But intermixed with it, there's some excellent material. And I know enough at this stage to distinguish one from the other. I got the good stuff, the research that has been done by others, and I compiled it in a 39-page white paper.
Okay.
It is available on the web, and I think we have it at the bottom of the screen.
Right.
Our viewers could see it. But if they don't remember it, if they would just go to Google and put in Obama white paper, they will find a link to it that way.
Okay.
Now, what I did was to marshal this forensic data, which as far as I am concerned, proves conclusively that the two birth certificates, so-called, that have been submitted by Mr. Obama, the so-called short form and the long form,
Right.
are abject, sophomoric, obvious forgeries. And from that it follows that Mr. Obama himself is a forger, which is a felony. And you take it from there. Does that mean that he is our legitimate president? Or does it mean that he is a pretender to the throne? That's a very scary question, and that may be one reason so few are willing to raise the question.
But it's an extremely important question.
It is indeed, yes. I might tell you, sketch for you some of the points that I make in proving the falsity of the birth certificates. An easy one to understand is what is called kerning.
Okay.
K-E-R-N-I-N-G. I'll be honest with you, I had not previously heard of kerning.
Okay.
But that is where you are going to present some type, and if you're using a computer, most of the fonts are able to do what is called proportional spacing.
Now, for the viewers, the fonts you're talking about are the characters you see on the screen of the computer.
Exactly right.
Okay.
Yes, the ABCs
Right.
and so forth. Well, if you've got a fat character, such as an M, the computer will allow a certain amount of space to that M.
Right.
If you have a very narrow character, for example, a small I,
Right.
the computer will allot much less horizontal space to it. A computer can do that. It's called a proportional spacing.
And your eyes will pick up on that.
They will, and you can put more writing into a smaller space that
Right.
way. Now, a typewriter cannot do that. It's called a monofont type. It allots the same space to the wide characters as to the narrow. It must.
And that's because the keys, the actual typeface on the typewriters are all the same size.
Exactly. The typewriter doesn't know what character is going to come next, or which character has preceded, so it can't make a decision as to how much space to allot.
Right.
Now, 1961, how many computers did we have?
I don't know of any.
Did not have any computers. You remember anything else about that year, 1961? Something that supposedly happened in Hawaii? They say that Mr. Barack Hussein Obama was born that year in the hospital in Hawaii, and they typed out his birth certificate, and Obama says, here it is. But my goodness, look at it. It's using this proportional font that can only be done with a computer.
And we're going to have these pictures that you're talking about are on the screen, so you'll be able to see.
Okay, very good.
They'll be able
Yes.
to see what you're talking about.
So right there, there's a mountain of additional evidence, but right there, it rules out the contention that this thing was done on a typewriter, this birth certificate in 1961, that it's done much later when computers were available, and hence it's got to be a forgery. There's a mountain of other stuff, but that alone proves it.
Well, absolutely. I mean, how else could you have a birth certificate generated in 1961? We didn't have computers. I mean, the only one I can think of offhand was maybe the ENIAC, but that was, a building at Georgia Tech. So
Yeah.
You would think of that. We wouldn't know about that.
I don't believe the birth certificate was typed out by an ENIAC at Georgia Tech.
No, I don't believe it was either. Well, that's very interesting. So kerning, just the fact that the difference in fonts between what a computer can do today. Now, you won't see that with your eye unless you magnify it and blow it up, right?
Well, it's best to see it that way, and I do that in the white paper.
Okay.
If you're very careful, once you know what you're looking for, you might see it.
Okay.
But really, to convince yourself, you need to blow it up. And I've got some blown up pictures of it in the white paper.
Okay.
And
Well,
you can clearly see it.
We'll put that on the screen.
Okay.
So kerning is the first hint that you had that this was there was a problem. We're going to take a break here, Hugh,
Okay.
and we're going to come back in the next segment and let you talk about the next issue that you
Okay.
found.
I'll be glad to.
We'll be right back after this.
Do you need help promoting your business? Do you want to have that special day captured forever, or that first Christmas or first birthday never forgotten? Then contact Celebrity Productions. We offer wedding videos of photography, picture slideshows of music, video editing, television commercials, and much more. So if you are ready to do business, contact Mark Bosch with Celebrity Productions at 205-434-1773 or mark.celebrityproductions@gmail.com. Celebrity Productions, here for all your video capturing needs.
Got problems with these? Ants, bees, roaches, termites, ticks, spiders, or fleas? Call Safari Pest Solutions. They can tame your jungles. Their staff combines for over 50 years' experience in the pest control industry. Their services are thorough and their prices are honest, fair, and reasonable. Call Safari Pest Solutions now at 205-578-BUGS. That's 205-578-2847.
Okay, and we're back now with Hugh McInnish and George Berry, and we're talking about the investigation, the white paper that Hugh has written on the Obama's birth certificate. So, Hugh, we talked about kerning. What was the next issue that got your attention?
Well, there are many other issues, but I might mention the gray tones, shades of gray, that a computer can generate. Again, going back to the typewriter, you strike a key and it prints a black character on a white paper.
Right.
Or you hit the space bar and there's a white space there.
Right.
The typewriter has only those two choices, black or white. The computer can give you shades of gray, and the number varies according to the software, but typically 256 different shades of gray.
So that's from all white to all black.
Yes, exactly. That's what they are.
Okay.
And when you look at the so-called birth certificate, you can see some of these shades of gray. You can look at a single word, say Obama, and most of the letters are written in all black, and one or two of them will be in some shade of gray.
Wow.
Once again, you could not have done that in 1961.
No, even if you used whiteout
No.
and
you
stamped
couldn't.
over it, you still wouldn't have had that problem.
No, you couldn't do that, and it's in more than one place. It is in several places, and well, you might say the typewriter ribbon was giving out, and it was getting light, but you have a letter here that's pure black, and then here's one where you say the typewriter ribbon is giving out, and then the very next character is pure black again. I don't think so.
No.
Not when you see it repetitiously throughout the document.
Right.
So that is that one. And then a third one is, okay, wherever these characters came from, some of them apparently did come from a typewriter. In other words, the certificate appears to have been manufactured by taking this piece of type from some source and putting it here. another piece here, and so on, and so on. Some of those characters are from a typewriter, apparently. Well, here's an interesting thing, though. They were not from the same typewriter. Now, there's nothing esoteric about that.
A little cutting and pasting going on here?
Quite a bit. Quite a bit of it. Go back to 1940, let me say the early post-war years. George is too young to remember those, I know. But you remember the Alger Hiss trial.
Yeah.
Hiss was a high-level State Department man. He went with Roosevelt on his foreign trips when they met with the Big Three and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
He was right in the middle of it all. Well, it turns out that Hess was working for the Russians all along. He was a Russian spy.
Well.
And Richard Nixon got on him. Everybody said, no. Well, you know how audacious Richard Nixon was. A lot of people hated him. But he dug into his, and he kept going and going and going. And the upshot was that Hiss was arrested, tried, convicted, and did time in prison. Key to that conviction was his typewriter. They had to do a major search to find his typewriter, but they did find it, and they were able to compare, the FBI was able to compare the type produced by his typewriter with some of these papers, so-called pumpkin papers, that had been transmitted to the Soviets, and with that convicted Hiss. My point here is, this is not a new esoteric technology, being able to study typewriters and distinguish between this one, that one, and the other one. And here you can do just that, and more than one typewriter was used.
So you're saying actually the local press could actually do this investigation and come up with the same conclusion. Why are they not?
I don't know. You can do it. I mean,
I could do it. But I have an old Royal typewriter, but belonged to my mother, and actually I used one in high school.
If you got a magnifying glass, and
we can get one.
Yeah, sure. And that's what I say. Once you know what you're looking for, you can see it. And you know, technology today, forensic technology, has involved fingerprints for some time. You have to be an expert there. The latest is DNA, and you have to be very expert at that.
Right.
But with none of these things I have been discussing, you don't need to be an expert.
Right.
You don't need a microscope. You just have to have normal eyesight and a willingness to see the truth. That's the tough one for some people. They can't see the truth, or they won't let themselves they won't allow themselves to admit that they're seeing the truth.
Do you really think people don't want to see what's obviously there?
Yes, I do. I believe that sincerely.
We're going to cover who you gave this information to. This same information was given to officials in the state of Alabama and Montgomery.
Yes, they were.
Yeah, we're going to, tomorrow, on the next show, we're going to talk about your experiences in providing this information to the Alabama officials. We're going to talk about a trial that or a court case that you participated in.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about some very interesting comments that we got back from some very high-level officials in the state of Alabama. Is that right?
Yes, we'll cover all of that if you like. Yes.
So I think it's interesting to note, folks, that this is an essential issue. This is an important issue. As a matter of fact, as I said at the early part of the show, I think this may be the most important issue that we have to, as citizens, need to come to grasp with. Because it not only, this particular issue here affects, in a serious way, the future of this country. And so we really need to dig in, understand this. The next show that we have here, we're going to go into the details about the trial, and I think you're going to be surprised at what you find out. I encourage you to get the white paper, read it, become very familiar with it, so that you can talk to your neighbors and friends about it. And so we're going to wind it up for today. Hugh, thank you.
Thank
George,
you very much.
Thank you. And we'll pick this up next week with the Freedom Report and Hugh McInnish. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Lewis. One question was raised about how we teach our young people, and I'm a former Marine, and I became aware that there are 2 verses, and we need to hear the second verse, which says, "Oh, thus be it ever, when free men shall stand between their loved homes and the war's desolation, blessed with victory and peace, may the heaven-rescued land praise the power that has made and preserved us a nation. Then conquer we must, when our cause it is just, and this be our motto: in God is our trust, and the star-spangled banner in triumph shall wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's what I'm talking about.
You're the God of this city, you're the King of this people, you're the Lord of this nation. You're the light in this darkness, you're the hope to the hopeless, you're the peace to the restless. You are.
Pay no attention to the people in the street, crying out for accountability. Make a joke of what we believe, say we don't matter 'cause you disagree. Pretend you're kings, sit on your throne, put down your nose at the peasants below. I've got some news, we're taking names, we're waiting out for the judgment day. I am America, one voice, united we stand. I am America, one hope to heal our land. There is still work that must be done. I will not.
Do you need help promoting your business? Do you want to have that special day captured forever, or that first Christmas or first birthday never forgotten? Then contact Celebrity Productions. We offer wedding videos of photography, picture slideshows with music, video editing, television commercials, and much more. So if you are ready to do business, contact Mark Bosch with Celebrity Productions at 205-434-1773 or mark.celebrityproductions@gmail.com. Celebrity Productions, here for all your video capturing needs.
Got problems with these? Ants, bees, roaches, termites, ticks, spiders, or fleas? Call Safari Pest Solutions. They can tame your jungles. Their staff combines for over 50 years' experience in the pest control industry. Their services are thorough and their prices are honest, fair, and reasonable. Call Safari Pest Solutions now at 205-578-BUGS. That's 205-578-2847.